All right, welcome into PrizePicks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick and at 5 Reasons Sports. Below me, I've got David Friedman. Follow him to talk about sports. Above me, I got Louis Sung. You can follow him at Louis D. Sung. We got Eric Wadicki up top. We got David Eversole producing and orchestrating. Before we go any further, I want to mention, use that code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. PrizePicks is legal in the state of Florida and many, many, many other states. It's not considered gambling. So you can play. Use the code 5, download it from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or prizepicks.com. But again, F-I-V-E. All right, we've got Dolphins Patriots coming up tonight at 8:30. Do want to mention 5 Reasons will be at Biscayne Bay Brew House again, down the street from Casaya Center in Miami. Just check them out at Biscayne Bay Brew here if you mention 5 Reasons. We'll also be giving you our free picks right here. We've got some NFL picks to get to, but let's start with Dolphins Patriots. And I'm going to go through some of the prominent people first, and we'll get to some of your prize picks. We're even going to allow Friedman to let his dog make a pick. Tua. Let's just start there. He's the topic
Ethan,
of conversation.
if you search Dolphins in the bar, you get everybody.
There you go. So there we go. So David's going to look them up. Let's look at Tua. And let's look at some of the props here. Would anybody, I think it's 263.5 on passing yardage. I was 274.5 actually. No, I'm sorry. 264.5, but then 274.5 passing and rushing. David's going quickly here. Anything on there? 266.5. Would anybody play this? Eric, yes, no.
100%.
Probably not. Not either way. Honestly, I think it's just don't touch it either way on that end because he could go for. It could be like I don't see a really low floor, like 200 yards, but I'm hesitant to say 270 plus on the road in Foxborough.
Lewis, he's 4-0 against them.
100%. I'm picking Tua Tagovailoa over on that number every time. Quite frankly, I feel like if this is the way that I see it going. Mike McDaniel, I don't think really wants to run the football. I think he wants to throw the ball all game long. So whether they're winning or losing, Tua is going to put yards up. So that's the way it's going to be.
Friedman.
It sounds like he thinks we should have tanked for Tua, first of all.
I'm going to restart that debate.
I would go over on attempts more than anything else. The yardage, like it's hit or miss. Like I think Eric's right about that. 33.5, I think the attempts. 34.5. I would take that.
Okay. So we're going to play it over. I would likely play the yardage over if I played it either way, but I don't think I'm going to play it either way. All right, let's get to the running back situation. Would anybody play Raheem Mostert? He seems to be the only one on the board right now. Anybody raise their hands? Like it? Don't like it?
I like
All right, Garrett, go first. I'm sorry. I should have.
No, you're good. You're good. The number that jumps out to me there is 10.5 receiving yards. 13 yards last week against the Chargers. I figure there might be 1 or 2 targets again today. If he gets 1 or 2 catches, it's just an easy number to beat.
Are they ever going to change his jersey? I don't understand that. He's been the one guy that's been in San Francisco uniform the entire time. Would either of you guys, Freeman, I know Freeman, you asked me about Achane. I don't think he's active. We'll see. Either Freeman or Lewis play Mostert today?
I have the same 10.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
If you look at the games from last year, like they do it to the running backs a lot. So I could see him getting that on 2 receptions. Lewis,
would you play him or no?
I'm taking the under on Raheem Mostert rushing yards. That's what I'm doing. Again, I'm firmly of the belief that Mike McDaniel does not want to run the ball. And not only that, as much as practice as we've seen, Tua does not want to throw to his running backs. He wants to throw to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle up the middle of the field. So if you really wanted to take an easy guess, I would say under on Raheem Mostert on the rushing and receiving, just to give yourself a little extra cushion.
All right,
we'll come back to that.
That's a play. We'll get back into that. All right, so let's get to the receivers then. We know that Tua likes to throw to them. Hill's number went up. That was too good to be true in the first game. I will tell you that I'm going to play Jalen Waddle over on yardage today. I looked at some of the trends. Whenever Hill had a big game last year, Waddle tended to have a bigger number, not than Hill, but than he did the previous game in the next game.
Yardage, for sure.
Yeah, yardage, yeah. So I'm going to play the yardage over. It does seem like there tends to be, I wouldn't call it an overreaction. You can't overreact to Tyreek Hill, but it does seem like the defensive coordinators put in the extra time on him, and Waddle gets it. Plus, Patriots are banged up in the secondary. They don't have a ton of depth there to begin with. So I'm going to say that Waddle gets some favorable matchups. I'm going to go over with him on yardage. Eric, would you play Hill or Waddle?
I would probably end up playing Waddle. I tend to agree with you, Ethan, as far as, last week being a down week, kind of playing the over this week on Waddle. And then Belichick is going to try to do what he can to key in on Tyreek Hill. And so I think it's just going to be handing the baton off from Hill to Waddle.
Lewis?
I would take the over on Jalen Waddle. Not Tyreek today, because I know that Jonathan Jones in New England, he's the guy who usually shuts him down, or at the very least limits him in what he's available to actually do. So I firmly expect that Belichick is going to key in on Tyreek, not give Tua that option, but that just means Jalen Waddle is going to be open more. But I'll get into a wild card if you'll allow me later.
Yes, I will. Wild cards come right after this. Friedman, go ahead.
I like the Waddle over on the yardage. I would go Tyreek over receptions. He's at 6. In the game that Tua played last year, he had 8. The game without Tua, he had 4. Figure it out. I mean, I think he'll get that, if nothing else, without the yardage.
Yeah, I think worst case he pushes. All right, so we'll go to wild cards on this. Lewis, you can start this time. Your Dolphins wild card.
Braxton Berrios.
Me too.
Give me his over 17.5 yards.
I think we all agree on that one, don't we?
Yeah.
So 17.5, right? This is a new favored target.
He is the new Trent Sherfield this year.
Yeah, except I think he's going to be more consistent, honestly, and more featured than Sherfield was. And we all agree on Berrios. I think I like Smythe over 2.5 receptions. He was targeted 8 times in the first half last week. I think 3 catches is a lock there, honestly. It seems like they're going to throw to him more often. Also, I think there's going to be a desire to throw to him to prove we don't need you, Mike Gesicki. Anybody else have any wild cards here? Eric, you have a wild card?
Yeah, my wild card is actually defensive. Javon Holland over 6.5 total plus assisted tackles. Javon Holland had 14 last week against the Chargers, and the linebacker situation does not look ideal.
Yes.
So I am all over Javon Holland tackles.
Look at that, Reese. That you went a little bit. That's a deep cut there. Who was the one, Lewis or Freeman, who wanted the wild card here? I can't remember. Just give it to me.
No, I gave my wild card.
You did. All right, David, give it to me. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would have gone Berrios, but my other one was River Craycraft over 9.5 reception yards. I mean, to me,
Craycraft 9.5. Oh,
there you go.
That's easy money.
I mean, we just assume he's going to throw the ball around, right? Isn't that kind of what we're saying?
Correct.
That's all right. All right, so let's go to the Patriots side now. Would anybody play anything on Mac Jones?
No.
Crickets. I don't really know which direction that goes. Okay, would anybody play anything on Stevenson?
Over rushing.
Okay. You don't think they fixed the problem?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's that. Would anybody go over on whoever the hell their receivers are? Does anybody like anything on the Patriots offense? I'll just
I have Zeke going over 24.5 rushing yards.
Okay. Fair.
Can we pull up the Patriots props so I can see the numbers?
Yeah. Eversol, see if you can pull them up, see if we can see anything there.
We didn't the Gesicki thing. Like, I don't know how nobody saw that. The Gesicki thing.
Gesicki 1.5 catches.
Right. He's going to get that for sure, right?
Right. I mean, they're gonna, for the same reason I'm talking about Smythe, right? Like they're gonna force him
more so.
To a point.
Yeah.
1.5 catches with that.
Okay. Yeah. That might. Well, the thing is, the Hunter Henry is the guy who spends most of the time, so I guess so.
Yeah.
Any tight end against the Dolphins, right? I mean.
Well, and particularly this one who's going to have something.
Yep.
We have seen these revenge games go a certain way against the Dolphins. Typically, I still remember Dante Culpepper dancing in the end zone. So maybe I can't get that out of my head. All right. Anything else on the board? You can go off the board somewhere completely. By the way, I like Derrick Henry today over on rushing yards. That's one. Mahomes' birthday. I don't know if that means anything. He's at 295.5, but I really like Trevor Lawrence over 260.5. I think he's going to sling it all year. He's got additional weapons now, and I don't really know that the Chiefs.
I like Christian Kirk in that game, actually.
Yeah.
What's that?
Christian Kirk in that game.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, he's got a lot of options, but I think Lawrence throws over 300 against the Chiefs. They may fall behind. I think they'll throw the ball a bunch today. Does anybody else have any props that they're going to put in their picks here today?
I'm 100% Bijan Robinson over 18.5 receiving yards. He's kind of the pass catching back there in Atlanta now, so I love that number.
Anything else, Lewis, David?
Saquon Barkley over on his rushing yards, playing the tanking Cardinals. So as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be easy for them.
I hope so. He's on my fantasy team, and my team sucks. Freeman, you got anything else before we go?
I got to look at the rest of the games. I had to dedicate all my time to the Dolphins right now. So
all right, so we'll get those up. Make sure you check those on Twitter as well. Eversol is going to put his card up. Maybe we should put a group card together if you guys want. Text me your favorite pick. We'll put a one.
Basically, Barrios is on every. Is that what's going on?
We love this prop. You know what? I'm just gonna put that prop up because
I'm putting Craycraft too. Like when you said Craycraft 9.5, I'm like, oh, forget that. That
seemed kind of crazy to me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, particularly if he's going to take Hill away. We've talked about the yardage going a lot of.
I don't even think I gave my Ingold pick. My Ingold over 5 receiving yards.
All the Dolphins are receiving except Tyreek. Is that what we're saying?
That was my main pick.
I guess so.
We like Barrios. We like Waddle. We like Ingold. Play the overs. So I guess play the over on Tua also because where are these yards going to come from? All right. Have a good day, everybody. Use that code FIVE. Get that initial deposit match up to $200. And if you want to come hang out with us, I got some more 5 Reasons hats. We're going to give those away today at Biscayne Bay Brewing. Have a good day, everybody.